City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan.
I'm Mila.
I'm Grant.
Yeah, that'll be used in a future thing. So for Alex, I know that you're going to question the fuck out of that. It's episode 54. You'll see why later. Tonight we speak about the only club that matters. But before we do that, self-promo. Looking for 100 subscribers. So subscribe, turn on notification bells, like this video, all that fun jazz. We post the clips from this video. So if this is too long for you and your attention span doesn't last 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, go ahead and follow us on socials or just watch the clips. But let's jump into it. United signed 2 players, and it looks like they're going to do more business. But so far, we have these 2, plus Diego Leon. But he was signed in the winter, so I don't really count him. These are the ones that matter. Cunha and Mbeumo. We can talk about them for a little bit. I mean, if you want to hear our full thoughts, we have multiple episodes where we talked about these guys. But I'll let you guys kind of start with your thoughts on these 2 signings and what it means for United moving forward this season. And then we can go from there.
Yeah.
Without context. Oh, yeah, you go, Mila.
I'll be quick with it. I don't have a lot to say about United players. But no, I do like both of these players. I think they're hard workers and they have something to prove in this league. They've both kind of been the big fish in the smaller ponds. And historically, United is a bigger pond for them to be swimming in. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to this bigger team, especially the pressure that comes with it. Definitely different from being like just the best player on some of these other teams. There's more outside pressure and just overall pressure on them. So to see how they deal with that and then how they link up together. They're going to be playing next to each other a lot. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they link up with each other and how they link up especially with that striker that United is talking about.
Yeah, and I think that was a well put, especially when you mentioned swimming. As soon as it rains, they will be. Any home fixtures, of course. But I think out of context, these are 2 very high quality Premier League players. To your point, Mila, they have something to prove coming in to this team. Again, there's still business to be done, but holding out on Mbeumo for a month and a half and the price not really budging too much may or may not have hurt their business. So again, we'll see at the end of next month whether or not that hurts them. Less strikers available on the market to go get now. Again, not that they would have been able to get every single one anyways because of the predicament that they're in. But I still think there's questions that need to be answered. But in terms of these 2 in particular, I think they're both quality, like no doubt. But I have more questions, I think, regarding, I guess, the other 9 guys that they're playing with.
Yeah, no, you guys have kind of put it as easy as you can put it. These are 2 Premier League proven guys that are going to raise the quality. I think from preseason and the stuff that I've heard from everybody so far, Cunha is the more vocal of the 2, and he's definitely another character I think that's been needed in the locker room for a long time. I think Bruno is the only guy that really tells players how it is, and that's why he's captain. So it's good to have another player that kind of can demand the room, and it sounds like Cunha is ready for this step in his career. And Mbeumo is just, he's a show on the pitch type of leader. So I'm excited to see what he looks like. Obviously, we have to wait until the last preseason game. I just got the lineup in the squad. Cunha's not playing tonight. So it sounds like Amorim is waiting to play them together in the last game for 60. So we'll see what that looks like. And we'll run through kind of what their best 11 looks like a little later. But I'm excited to say the least. I mean, I feel confident in these 2 signings. And to Grant's point, like they took a month to get the guy that they wanted. I think that it got held up to a certain extent because they didn't know like he was available. And I still kind of believe that. I don't know if anyone did.
Mbeumo?
I don't think he was just like a known commodity. I think there were people
I-
that were like, "Oh, maybe we'll go get him," but I don't think
Well,
he
the
was
tweet
like,
came out like
"Oh,
June 2nd, I believe. Ornstein's like, Mbumo makes it very clear he wants to go to Man United. No other teams are involved. Like, he will only go to
yeah."
Man United. So that's where I started my clock, if you will.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. And I think that United tried to wait out for a better deal. I also think that Brentford tried to wait out as well because they knew they could get a better deal. Like what they asked for 70 plus 10 at a certain point, which is crazy. But I think that honestly, United, and we'll get into Sesko pretty quickly here. I think their first player that they wanted was Delap at 30 million. I think that was their choice if they had to have picked one. I think that was the two head masters essentially wanted that guy. I think Amorim was on board, and Delap fell apart. That was Chelsea were able to make a better run at him and got him, which has led us to where we're at now with us being linked with Sesko. And it sounds like essentially, from my understanding, is both teams are willing to meet some evaluation that's close to it, with whether it's 5 or 10 million pounds off. But the player's got the choice of wherever he wants to go. And from the reports right now, it sounds like it's United in the lead. I don't know how much I necessarily that. I don't know what we're looking at here, but for Newcastle, we've talked about it's a disaster summer. If they don't get him, I don't know what happens. I don't know if this is a domino effect where Isak ends up staying because they have no other choices. But that's like the prayer. That's like the hope and prayer to kind of get him. But that's just money talk at the end of the day. Let's just assume that United are in the lead and this is the player. This is the 9 that they're aiming for, and they can go and get him. What do you guys think of this option for United? And does this move them into a different tier?
Not for me. Not for me, only because my take with Sheshko's always been I think he's a really quality profile. I think he will become a good player, but given the player he is right now, I think, let's say he went to Arsenal, that's a very competent team, another 10 guys that know what they're doing. So walking into the United situation, being as raw as he is, I think he's got a higher floor than Højlund, but it reeks of the similar situation.
Yeah, what do you think, Mila?
I don't know. I think the Arsenal point is right. In terms of just the system and where it's at, certainly if you insert him into that, he's going to be way better. But I do think in terms of just the way United play and the formation that you guys are going to be running forward next season, he's going to benefit heavily from this with bombing for wide wing backs. And then these 2 additions that we just talked about underneath him causing havoc, making chances for him. I think it comes down to a lot of these guys that aren't prem proven is like, yes, they're goal scorers, but can they do the goal scoring in the Premier League? So, like Grant said, we have to see how it pans out. I think I'm a little higher on the squad as a whole, though, and what's surrounding him than Grant, though.
Yeah, I've talked myself into Sesko. I think that me and Grant talked about it, and at the price, it's a risky move. And I think that there's a lot of like, and Grant even brought it up, like we go young player, young striker, Højlund. And like I need to preface myself and everyone else that this player isn't Højlund. Højlund came in at 20 and we threw him into Champions League football. I think that the Arsenal point's interesting. I'll throw a counter argument here of that Arsenal actually needed the 27-year-old and not the 22-year-old. They needed a player that can come in and just score goals right away. If anything, Ollie Watkins is the player that I thought they could have gone after too and been in the same position. Whereas I think United in a rebuilding team, like we could have leaned towards Ollie Watkins, and yes, he could have helped right now. But what does that move United to potentially? From 15th to 8th, and then you're looking at 31-year-old Ollie Watkins next season, potentially with no value.
Yeah,
you don't know. That's the thing is this is all a bunch of unknowns. Sesko, I understand the risk, but it feels more calculated in terms of there's a strategy involved. I feel like in recent years, United have just thrown caution to the wind. And so when they got Højlund, it was because Ten Hag wanted Højlund. This was 3 or 4 people came together and went, look, we really like Sesko. We've been scouting him since he was 16. One guy in particular is super high on him, but everybody came to agreement that Vavell.
Yeah, he's from Red Bull. We had him for like 6 months, but they know the player. To your point, it's not just what's the striker name? He's young. It's not Højlund. It's an easy comparison to make. I mean, like we did with Hoyland, Holland, they look the same. They got blonde hair. Oh, let's compare them. It's a lazy comparison, but just in the mold of a young, inexperienced striker getting thrown into a tough situation, that's what kind of not scars
100%.
me. I enjoy it, but that's what gives me a little bit of unease with it. But again, the profile, the ceiling of the player, if he becomes good, I mean, of course, it's a great fit, especially in the system.
For United, I think I'm okay with the risk being taken. I think they've been bluffing this whole "we're broke" card. They put in a last-minute bid for Ekitike. And so I think that there's definitely some money coming in. We're going to talk about the bomb squad here. But I like the idea that either if it wasn't Sesko, it was Ollie Watkins, and there was a clear plan. I like the profile of player. He's a freak athlete. It's a good talent. It's just the question of how quickly can he adapt. And maybe he doesn't need to adapt that quickly. Like maybe there's a way where Amorim has to adjust and he ends up playing Bruno in the false nine. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Go ahead, Mila.
As long as he fits the mold of what you're looking for, and I think you nailed it when you just talked about his athletic build. Like Ollie Watkins is also super athletic.
Yeah.
If you look at it just compared to his height, other players around his height in the same position, he's way more athletic than them. So it seems like you guys are looking for that athletic build right there. Watkins would have been more of a temporary option.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a swing at a more long-term option. But I do think they tick a lot of the same boxes. Sesko's frame is just a lot larger.
Yeah. This is more freak athlete territory than it is pure footballer. Like Sesko does a lot of things well. He's not the full package. And he's raw, and maybe he gets into some of that. I don't think that's his profile. I think at the end of the day, he's a semi-target 9 who's 6'5". So you can whip it across to him. He can play a good one-touch pass. From my understanding of like some of the videos and comps that I've seen, he's good at the one-touch pass.
Hope that doesn't get clipped.
If you throw him into the dribbling category, that's where it's not good. He's just way too big at 6'5". It's very similar to Holland. Like, do you want to see Holland running with the ball? No. But Holland in the one-touch pass, if it's one-on-one blitzing a dude, totally. But if it's like Holland in tight spaces trying to wiggle out, like
that's kind of cool too.
No, yeah, you got other guys.
We're not in love with it. We're not in love with it. That's why you get.
You got other guys better at that.
Speaking of players that I don't like watching and suck and are awful and need to die. No, that was harsh.
Oh,
they don't need to die. I'm kidding. It's funny that Malacia gets thrown into this for me because like I just don't even. Up. I feel awful for him.
Unfair. It was Ten Hag's first signing. I think that's why.
For like a year.
It was Ten Hag's first signing. They just got to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I didn't know he existed for a while. Like it was always like, is Malacia ever gonna come back?
Well, everyone thought he was the dead body that was found.
That's what I meant by they need to die. Like they were just they happened to be dead.
Remind me, Dylan, when we start talking about the lineups that you guys need to get rid of a striker. We do need to talk about that, but we'll talk about it after this.
Let's
clear up the fundraising.
Yeah,
let's clear up the
part
fundraising.
Of
I feel like this is pretty quick. I haven't heard much about Sancho. I mean,
the price dropped to £15 million.
Oh wow!
It's I think it's somewhere in that region, 15 to 20. Juve don't want to pay more.
Yeah, well,
they don't want to pay anything. Yeah, I guess
they're being Juve. And Dortmund.
Honestly, it sounds like Anthony's the one that's most likely to have a suitor that can afford it. Like it sounds like he's got multiple suitors overseas.
The issue with Anthony is he only wants Betis.
Is that so? Still, I think I heard like Atleti, like maybe not, but if Atleti came in, I'm sure he'd go to Atleti. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like pretty much of the things that have been proposed to him, the only one that he truly wants is Betis, and they're offering 20 million plus 50% of his rights. So it's a loan.
That's not a horrible because a lot of teams in Portugal have been doing that. That's what Porto did with Samu. Benfica tried it with João Felix. So like I think that might be the new meta for the broke teams because they'll pay you 20 million this summer and then they'll pay you 20 million next summer. Or if they sell him for a lot, then you get half of that fee. So it's almost like a 50% selling until they buy it out. I know what you mean. You want the money in, but realistically, 40 million all in.
It doesn't sound that bad on paper, but I'd much rather just have the lump sum of whatever.
Of course,
they could always just flip him for nothing, and then you're looking at 25 million for Anthony when
Sure.
a team he played well for on loan should, if that's the way that you work on loans, is you're like, oh, then I can haggle after he plays well. Like, that's not how that works. Like,
Dortmund
if
did
you
it
have
with
a loan
Sancho.
player, yeah, exactly. And then he came back. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't have the power there. If you have a loan player that plays well, like, you're kind of obligated to pay a certain fee. At least I think that's how business works. The issue with United, and I think City and sometimes Chelsea are like the X factor here. But when you're selling players, there's only a finite number of teams that can give you like 35 million for a player in the world, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, how many players can actually, or how many teams can actually spend that much cash? It's not a lot.
Yeah, no.
And so, like, if we're asking, honestly, if we're realistically asking Betis to come and shell out 35, 40, 50, like, are they really going to do that? That's their entire transfer budget.
Yeah,
Like,
they
wouldn't do that.
can, but it is an absurd, like it would be a big signing for them. So they definitely have to think about it more when it comes to these players that have been struggling. Like, yes, he did play well for them, but like you're saying, this is a big lump sum of their transfer money. So that definitely comes into play when they're thinking, like, are we going to go get Anthony? I want to know what their biggest signing is. I feel like that would be pretty good information.
Yeah. I was going to
Sesko
say, I
on a
know
free
that
was
they
good
brought
business. Yeah.
they brought someone in this summer for like 30, I think.
Huh.
And I think it was with the Cardoza money. I'm not entirely
Oh
sure.
yeah, because they sold him. They
Most
made some good
expensive
money off that.
transfer is like 30 million euro
Yeah.
for Danielson
So that's the thing, is
in
like for
1998.
United, like, if honestly, like, if Saudi's coming to the table, like, you do what Chelsea just did and you sell him to Saudi. If he's open to that move, like, you sell him to Saudi. And
Yeah, I
you
need
call it
Ronaldo to bring one more of his friends over there, bro.
yeah, do me a
It's
fucking
another
favor,
man on your slide, bro. Because I think Garnacho. I've talked a lot about him on here. I think when you look at the way Chelsea operate, there's very clearly some players that are part of the plans, and then other players that they think they can flip. I think Garnacho's kind of what they see in that. I mean, we see a lot of like reports. Oh, he's open to the move. He's open to the move. No shit, he's open to the move. But the report I saw was like they wouldn't be willing to pay more than 30 million pounds, and that leads me to believe they think he's an asset that can be flipped.
Yeah.
Again, you made some good points, Dylan. As bad as his reputation is right now, like, he still has a lot of experience in the league. I think I've argued in the past it's not good experience per se, but again, it's more than a lot of people at his age with the levels that he maybe has as a ceiling. But yeah, I think either us, maybe Villa. I don't know. Villa might not even be able to afford that type of move. I don't see him going for more than max 45 million pounds, just given the way the market looks to me, if he goes. So like it's just such an interesting situation, because to your point again, regarding negotiations, teams are going to try and take advantage of United. It's a tale as old as time. The new ownership's not going to let that happen. But at the same time, all we've been hearing is they need to sell some players. So the rock in a hard place in terms of the outgoings.
I guess I'll pose the question to you. Do you guys think that the way that they've treated this quote unquote bomb squad, I saw a thing today that said that they're moving them to the U21 locker room, essentially. They're just completely removing them from the side. Do you think that's the right way of going about
That's absolutely disgusting. How dare a club act like that?
I think it's
a
fine.
disgrace.
If
Bro,
they're not-
Chalobah
if
was
they're
with our
not
U21s
getting-
a year ago.
Chalobah,
That's
I think, was
fucked
done way worse than these guys.
Oh, for sure.
When they go
Absolutely.
out.
But this is how the
These
game is played.
guys, yeah. And the manager didn't just get here either. He's been here for half a season already. He knows who's going to be in the squad, who he sent out on purpose. Like, there's purpose to everything that he did. If these guys don't want to work hard enough to get back on his good graces and back into the vision of the squad, then welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is the game.
We're all in the same
This is
boat.
the game.
I think that just the idea that United haven't been ruthless in a long time, especially with their own people, like inside the home.
Hold the standards.
Yeah. So now they're there. They're finally doing that. I'd love for United, if teams aren't serious with bids, I'm totally cool with them keeping them. Like I said, I don't think this is a money issue anymore. I think that was a total bluff. Look, United's got money. It's not my fucking money. I don't care. So if, they got to hold on to them or loan them out and then have them come back and regain their value, so be it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Set the precedent.
Yeah, they're gonna end up spending 200 million here in our worst ever season with no sales potentially.
Yeah,
so
we spent 5.
so who cares? Who gives a fuck? Fuck them. So let's get into United's best 11 here. I will throw up the screen share. Kaboom. And kaboom. Okay.
Slap me in goal.
Yeah, the goalie. It
Stefan
sounds like
Ortega.
I really hope that's not the move, but like I was texting you, like I think it might happen.
You got to throw Nana in for now, because I mean, Bayandir, you could argue, is worse. And I remember at the time he went to you guys, I was pissed. I wanted him. I thought it was a good signing.
The beginning of last season, he was really good. We had a whole thing where we were like, "Oh man!"
And
like
as soon as we did that,
praise, and then just went to shit. I think he gets more of a bad rap than he should, but it's similar to Sanchez, where you're like, dude, you make a lot of mistakes here and you're killing us. And United didn't score goals, so it was like, fuck me.
And as a goalkeeper, your mistakes are much more noticeable. They typically lead to a goal, right? So
this is
it's
true.
Unfortunate, yeah, but he's in there.
He's in there for now. We'll see. I
Euro's
think Euro is my right center back. I think
he's
because
he's in. I know he's in there.
Yeah, and for me, I think I think we should honestly go based off of just like the wings here. Like this is Ahmad to me, and if you're gonna go with, oh my god, why
Gallo just switched his number.
It's right there. He was right there. Go back.
Oh, was he?
Okay. You're casual.
Oh, sorry. Because he doesn't want to go by his last name anymore. So Ahmed, and then you got Mbumo, right?
And Cunha, yeah.
Is it EU?
I love this order we're going in.
You. Oh yeah.
So the reason I say that is because Euro for me makes up for a deficiency in the fact that these are both players under 5'8". I don't think like people have been putting Mazzarari here for me. And the idea of Mazzarari being in this spot is not good enough physically for me. And I don't understand why we would throw that player in there, because that's just asking for us to get overloaded on that side and just get beat. Like these guys are good in the duels, but they're not good in the air. And I think the lack of physicality here just really throws me off. So Euro has to be my right center back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the main thing is, who are you putting at center? Is it Maguire or is it De Ligt?
I really think De Ligt was underrated last year. I think his IQ is really.
He definitely had moments where he was very good.
And I think
the best spot for him.
Yeah, the middle's the best spot.
You need him 1v1 out wide with wingers.
No,
that's not where he belongs. That's where athlete.
Well, I wasn't even implying that they're both playing. I kind of think it's an either or for the center.
Oh, okay.
I agree. For me too. I
don't want De Ligt out wide.
Look, Maguire had a good season, but his entire tenure for United has not been good enough. So the idea that he's going to be good again,
he's a reliable squad player. That's what you want him to be right now.
And what do you call it?
Level head in the locker room. Yeah,
sure, he's been great.
Goal
he was
threat.
Great last season. And you know, Amarin likes to make a center back sub, so that's why I think I'm going with the guy that has like the pedigree and the leadership there that fits well with Euro.
Okay.
The left center back,
right?
It would be Martinez if he was healthy. I don't know when he's back.
I would like it to be Heaven.
I also would like it to be Heaven.
I just don't see him starting off the bat.
It'll probably be Luke Shaw for 2 games.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I thought Heaven in the preseason game, people were upset because I thought he was really good. And I think if you were to show up with this back line for Arsenal, I would be totally fine with it. All these players are over 6'2", 6'3". Euro and Heaven are both good on the ball. And then you have a leader and a captain who's not going to be wearing the armband, and De Ligt, who can kind of be the backline helper for them. Like, that feels perfect to me. But I don't know.
Left.
Yeah, left.
Of course. Realistically, I think they start 2 fullbacks. Well, Dorgu at left back, but I think they'll probably start Dallo if you're playing Arsenal. Like, you're playing a very good team. I'm going to assume he goes more defensive, but
yeah.
Balls to the wall, I'd respect that. I'd fuck with it. But
this is just United's best
yes.
here.
Yeah, I got you.
But I agree. I think there's a very good chance that this is Dallo come first game of the season.
Yeah. This is why I'm low on United, by the way. This is why I'm very low on United, just so we're clear. Yeah, I just think this area is an absolute mess.
Let me throw Cunha.
Cunha, yeah.
Yeah, throw Cunha, and then honestly, you could leave fucking
Yeah,
striker blank. We
I think
whoever
you
you
put
sign.
Sesko at this point, and
then just assume that it's him, and if it's
Sure.
not, then
Mhm.
it's probably
It'll be whoever else they
we can
sign.
actually
similar
we'll
profile,
show
I'd
kind of
assume.
what would happen if I don't think they bring one in. This
Yeah.
for me is Ugarte
Really?
for the time being. Yeah, and
Even with the Casemiro fitness levels raising?
with him being in once a week, like I like the idea of that, but we saw Casemiro in the Prem last year, and it's just he's not.
But he was
got it.
chubby last year, and he looks skinny now. He looks fit. He
Luka
does look
Doncic
significantly
offseason
more fit.
discourse.
I'll know a lot more after tonight's match, but for me, Ugarte I think was overhated last year, and I think
Mhm.
in a midfield where like you kind of just need legs, he fits the profile for me for right
That
now.
makes sense. Yeah.
But if in a perfect world, I'd love for them to go get someone else.
Yeah.
The issue is every United page on Twitter, and you guys have probably seen it, are like, oh, they should just go get Baleba. Like, hey, dog, there hasn't been a single link to Baleba. You cannot go and imaginarily put this guy on your wish list and hope that he's there come the start of the
It's
season.
just expensive. I
I'd
think he's
just
available to whoever
break
wants him.
into
He's just 100
I'd break
mil.
into Brighton's offices and just find their
Steal 'em?
scouting reports. Yeah, sign the 17 we're about to sign for 2 million that they were going to flip for 40 to us. You know, go get him before.
Yeah,
Just
that position gets filled if the bomb squad gets sent. I think that these three guys were just the budget. This was the budget
Right.
this summer. And then you're looking at
for a budget.
We couldn't
transfer
score goals,
window,
let's
that's
get
really
attacker.
good, I think.
yeah.
If that's the way you're looking at it, then that's a great transfer window, budget wise.
Okay, so let's
you got a
just
good
really quickly
steal.
switch this out. Let's say that they don't get Sesko. He goes to Newcastle. In my opinion,
hijack Isak deal.
I don't even want them to spend the money if Watkins is 60
Let
or
him
whatever.
cook.
I just don't think it's worth that.
just-
I think that you are much better off doing this.
Oh,
okay.
I actually like the other one better. I'll be real.
And then
I
this
like call me there.
and then this and then this is where you spend your transfer budget, whatever is remaining, and you go and get your 6. Whoever that is.
I would
whoever
like that. I just from everything we've seen from your manager, I don't see this happening. So I'm not really
Totally
going to
fair.
entertain it too much.
Totally fair.
But honestly, Cobby in those advanced positions, I thought you were just throwing him false 9. I'd love to see that with Cunha and Mbeumo on either side. They tried it for a half. Cobby's obviously not a 9, but I do think he is a more forward-minded player. I think putting him in one of these 10 spots, he'd do a lot better than in the double pivot. So I think I've always kind of thought with it, just seeing Højlund stuck up top every week, it's like, fuck, just throw someone else at false 9. Try it again. Like, just see if we can get different looks. I think it'll be a big year in his development. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. But
I think if you have those players, this is doable. But to bring in these
last year.
Yeah, of course. But to do this going forward with Mainu, I think he has the technical ability to do that. But when it comes to the eye for goal, just clinical finishing, that's where it gets scary.
Yeah.
My idea in my head, I've seen the clips, and I just the type of player he is, like in my head, it was like, oh, bro, this would be insane.
Well, I don't even doubt that he'd be
midfield
able to get a decent amount of goals there. I just think what
it's not optimizing it.
Yeah, they need exactly. It's not optimizing it. That's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, the midfield just spooks me with this team, and I know Amorim's style. It's not particularly reliant on progression through the middle, so I'm fully aware of that. Like you can almost avoid it. It just having two guys in there who, for lack of better terms, just kind of treat the ball like a bomb. Like how are you going to be able to hang on to the ball? Those types of things scare me. But again, I can absolutely be proven wrong with this. I just don't love the look on paper of that midfield. And like Bruno's a great player. Ugarte has his qualities. Ugarte is like a younger version of Palhinha to me. But that doesn't mean that them two together in a midfield is a good midfield. You know, it doesn't. You can have two good players, two quality players, but it doesn't work. And I got a bad feeling. I don't love it.
In preseason, the one thing that's been interesting is because Mbeumo hasn't been there. This has been Bruno in here, and that's Mainu. But the one thing that was really interesting to me is for Wolves, I rarely ever saw Cunha do this and come to the right. He was strictly always on the left. He did that almost the entire second game. Like it was constantly interchanging. And so I think that's one of the things that this will become
Free-flowing
is
between the two of
you're
them.
looking at Bruno come here, Cunha dropping in deep. This is going forward. This is dropping in here.
Okay.
If they get Sesko, that's the one thing that makes me super excited about that, because Sesko, that's what he's been training to do at Leipzig, is doing this, dropping in deeper, playing the one-time ball, going through. It may be super exposed, and they might get destroyed on the counter, right? But that's just modern Premier League tactics at this point. It's just throwing shit to the wall and hoping something sticks. We didn't score goals. So if we score fucking anywhere close to what we can potentially score with like those guys, I'll be ecstatic.
Yeah, you fix one problem at a time. It's open heart surgery. That term's always been thrown around, but like when you're trying to learn like a new thing, when you're trying to learn something new as an adult that you have no clue what you're doing, you can't just, let's say you're messing up 5 things, just fix it all at once. You got to focus on one thing at a time. To your point, United just horrible last season. Okay, what was a big problem? Couldn't score. Let's address that. And then obviously you might have some other problems come from addressing this one problem. Address those after. You don't have the luxury to just bang, bang, let's fix everything. So just kind of focusing on one problem in terms of the approach, I'm really not mad at it, but I don't know. The midfield just scares me. The midfield scares me.
If you were to throw United at like 8th or lower, come your predictions, I wouldn't be shocked. Like there's nothing that has given me hope from this last season to make me believe that. I just am trusting in the idea that like if you upgrade those 3 spots that drastically, you're going to be much better by some margin. And honestly, United dropped to whatever they were at. If they had only had the Premier League to focus on, I think they would have figured out a way to get towards mid-table last season. So I think that it just becomes drastic because they put all their eggs in one basket and it didn't fucking work. And so that's my reason for being optimistic, is I think that there's something here. It's just you're asking for a lot of things to fire right away. And my concern is the start of the season is it's going to be tough, like super tough. Like if they don't get off to a good start, there could be just the Amorim out right away. And then you're stuck at this recycle of like, you just got fucking 3 dudes that fit his system. And now you're looking to reshuffle it again. Like, are the cards going to work? You just bought like center back heavy. You went center back heavy and didn't get wing backs or natural fitting fullbacks, and now you're sitting here with Dorgu trying to figure out how to make him a left back, or you're back to Luke Shaw being your starting left back. Like you're just in trouble. So I think you have to get these signings right. United have not proven to do that very often.
Correct.
So I'm hoping that these signings are right. I think if you were to rip the United symbol off this and you were to give it to any other club, I think people would be talking more highly about these signings than they currently are. Because United haven't been able to make them work. But I don't know. That's why I'm optimistic. I think these guys are great.
It's pretty good copium, I'll be real. That was well done. After the season we finished 12th, I had absolutely fucking nothing. But yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely valid in being optimistic. But I also agree with as soon as you hit the first hurdle, it can get ugly. It can get ugly really quickly because you're building it back up throughout the summer. And I think you also made a good point mentioning that both teams that were in that Europa League final kind of tanked the Prem, especially Tottenham, at least in my eyes. But United, the same thing, where it's like, what's the point when we can actually go do something here? If they only had Prem and they're looking at it, they're in 11th, 12th, I don't think that those teams slide to 15th and 17th. But they did. And that's the reality that we live in. So we'll take it. I'll save it for the predictions video. I was going to say where I think I had him, but I think it'll be more fun to save it.
It's fair. No, this is exactly what I thought the United conversation would be. They were super shit. They added some players that are of quality. Could be adding more, but we're still...
Yeah, the team is shit. They added 2 good players.
Where are we really at? They got Bruno and a couple of good guys, and now we're looking at, could they be much better next season? We'll ultimately see. They'd really have to hit.
We shall see.
We shall see. Cool. I don't got anything else.
Just start like 30 minutes ago?
No, it starts in 30
started. Oh, nice.
But like I said, there's no Cunha in the squad.
Score prediction.
Score prediction? With no Cunha in the squad? I don't know. Fucking Hoyland's up top. Oh, it's a Mount Ahmed double 10s. That's cool. That guy, we could go into an hour-long discussion on him. Wanker. He's a pro, but he sucks. It's tough.
Number 7, mate.
Yeah, that was commercial. That was
Jason,
old United business. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
I was at work when I got that "Here we go." I legit hit the Harry Kane celebration, like the jump and I was lit, bro. 55.
Yeah, I'd like to see some guys go so I can do that too. That'd be cool. But
Loan
like I
with
said,
the 10 million obligation for Mr. Sancho, I fear.
hey man. If they can get 15, that means the total is 20.
How are you guys looking on in the summer series? What are the standings right now?
We're currently in first.
Okay.
Second technically, because Bournemouth beat.
As you know, we've won it all. You know the first ever winner of the summer series was.
Yeah, and hey, you guys ended up being Club World Cup champions. So.
Oh man, we love it.
See, that's the trajectory of the summer series winners.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I'm good to end it if you guys are.
Yeah.
Go. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Dylan. That's Mila. And that's Grant. We have been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 54. And we will see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.